You know, every restaurant is a buffet if you're willing to pay, especially here in Las Vegas, the all-you-can-eat capital of the world. Hello friends, it's me, Shin, and I'm on a quest to vlog every restaurant on the Las Vegas Strip as well as downtown off Fremont Street. I'm 203 in, and this week for number 204, I'm coming to you from the New York, Las Vegas, where I'm going to be showing you the America restaurant. I'm really happy to have you along, and I'll see you inside. All right, everyone, and here I am seated at the America restaurant. This is the 24-hour casino cafe at the New York, Las Vegas. Open year-round, serving up all kinds of American diner classics in a very welcoming atmosphere. Super tall ceilings give a nice airy feel to the dining space, tables and booths for seating, and a large 90 by 20 foot solid print of America with plenty of landmarks, a very cool signature piece here at the America restaurant. I've eaten here a handful of times in my past, though it's been several years since I've been back, but I do really like it in here. It's got a really great vibe. Now, regardless of the vibes, you know it's all about the food for me, so let's take a look at what they have to eat on the menu. So here is your menu at the America restaurant. Again, this is a 24-hour restaurant that's open all year round. Craft beer, souvenir cups, as well as this ribeye special that's available from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. every day. But let's take a look at inside of what they got. Here are your breakfasts. You've got breakfast sandwiches and the like up top. Plenty of classic breakfasts here. Corned beef hash, chicken fried steak, steak and eggs and the like, omelets, as well as a vegan breakfast, a veggie burrito and avocado toast. And then here are some sides as well. Yeah, it looks like toast, bagels and cream cheese, potatoes, biscuits and gravy, all looking really good. Your breakfast is continued over here with your pancakes and waffles, French toast. There's also breakfast smoothies, as well as a yogurt parfait, fresh fruit. And there's also a classic donut shop here. Unfortunately, it's not available right now. I guess I came too late and they're just out of donuts, but they are made here fresh every day. So one day I will have to come back and try those again. And then we go to the lunch and dinner section. You have your appetizers here, plenty of standard looking options like American nachos and chicken wings, soups and salads. Again, very standard looking options here. We also have oven baked pizzas, that's very nice. Cheese, pepperoni, vegetable, you can also build your own. And then we also have the dinner section over here, a lot of your entrees, things like pan-seared salmon, fettuccine alfredo, New York strip and the like, all looking really good. Burgers and sandwiches. You got a mushroom cheddar, a hot dog as well. Yeah, very nice handhelds. And then your sides for those as well, mac and cheese, grilled onions, vegetables, onion rings, French fries, all looking nice. And then your lunch and dinner continued. More sandwiches on the back here, Philly cheesesteaks, meatball heroes and chicken fried sandwiches, vegan entrees, impossible burgers, as well as a pasta pomodoro. Okay, that sounds pretty good. And then you also have your desserts here, an all-American milkshake, hot fudge brownie sundae, big apple pie, or a New York cheesecake. And that is your menu here at the America restaurant. Pretty standard looking casino diner here at the America restaurant. Plenty I'm going to be looking forward to showing you today, because you know how it goes in my videos. Every restaurant is a buffet if you're willing to pay. I'm going to get a nice variety in together. We're going to see what America is all about. I think I'm going to start with breakfast first. I'll see you a little bit when that arrives. And welcome back, my friends. Now, my breakfast options just got here. This is pretty tasty. Let me give you a view. I got their breakfast sandwich along with some avocado toast, corned beef hash, a waffle, and their chicken fried steak. A lot of really good diner breakfast options here. Let's go in. I'm gonna start things off with the breakfast sandwich. Looks like a bacon, egg, cheese, and tomato breakfast sandwich. Lots of bacon too. Let's give it a bite. Yeah, that's fine. A perfectly passable breakfast sandwich here. Starting with the bread. It's a soft bun, obviously store-bought, not even all that well toasted, and it's unbuttered, which is very interesting. Not a lot of texture to that bread, and is very neutral in flavor as well. Ultimately, it's just acting as a vessel for the rest of the sandwich. The egg is nice, it's been cooked over hard, a nice amount of butter applied to the eggs at least, giving a nice rich flavor. American cheese works just fine here. It's salty, melty, provides a little bit of decadence to the sandwich, and the bacon is nice. A crispier bacon here. If you've watched the channel enough, you know I'm a fan of crispier bacon, and it's got a nice salinity and a good smoky flavor. I like the bacon just fine. The tomatoes working okay. I do think they're a little bit on the mealy side, and you get their natural sweetness toward the end of the bite. In general, I would say it isn't bad, but it's just very straightforward. Not super imaginative, but this is a very straightforward and acceptable breakfast sandwich. Next up, the hash browns. The hash browns came alongside both my breakfast sandwich as well as my chicken fried steak. This is a pretty standard breakfast side option here in America. Let's give the hash browns a try. Can't say I'm the biggest fan of those. Oh, that's unfortunate. I usually love hash browns, but these are just not doing it for me. First and foremost, while there's a fair amount of color on these, unfortunately, they belie their actual texture. There's just absolutely no crisp to this. Even the brown bits are actually quite mushy, and the center feels super dense, as if a lot of those potato shavings have just soaked up so much oil. This is very heavy. A lot of that starchy potato flavor is also lost to that oil. It's just very greasy. It's just not my favorite breakfast hash browns, unfortunately. Next up, the corned beef hash. Corned beef hash along with some eggs. I got these cooked over medium. Looks pretty good. Let's see how it tastes. Oh yeah, that's good. Corned beef hash is actually quite tasty tonight. To be honest with you, when I ordered this, I was expecting that corned beef hash that you typically get from a can. Kind of that crumbly texture, which I grew up eating, by the way, so I don't have any issues with it. But I really like how the corned beef hash was made here at the America restaurant. Actual strands of corned beef make for a very satisfying bite. A slightly tough, jerky-like exterior that you would expect from something like a corned beef, but it's actually still quite juicy and relatively tender in the center. It's been very well seasoned, a nice tasting corned beef hash. This was a much better protein than I was expecting when I first ordered this. Diced peppers and onions provide some nice caramelized sweetness here, and a great job with this over medium egg. A slightly thick but still runny yolk provides richness as well as some additional flavor. This is quite tasty. Pleasantly surprised with the corned beef. That's a solid dish. Next up, I'm going in on the waffle. Between the three big breakfast carbs like pancakes, waffles, and French toast, I'm definitely a waffle guy. And I've got a nice big section on the fork. Let's see how it tastes. Oh yeah, that's good. Perfectly fine waffle here at the America. It's everything you want and everything you need. A nice crisp to the exterior. I think the best part about the waffle is the texture. And so biting into that slightly crispy exterior is just so much fun. It has a light, airy, and cakey interior, and a bit of a nutty sweetness overall. I love maple syrup on waffles, and the America restaurant is not changing my mind on that. And a little bit of powdered sugar here for some color, although I wouldn't say you can actually make out those flavors in the bite. This is about as straightforward as a classic American waffle as you're gonna find. I say American, but it's Belgian waffle, right? Either way, I'm enjoying this. Perfectly fine waffle today. Next up, we're going in on some chicken fried steak. Now this is definitely an American classic. I personally got the gravy on the side so I could pour it on a little bit later, and I was able to maintain the crisp of this doing so. Now this was my go-to dish when I came to the America restaurant several times before. Hopefully it's still as good as I remember from a handful of years back. Let's see how it is. Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, this is a good chicken fried steak. All of the elements are working great. Starting with the breading, this is obviously hand breaded here. It has a little bit more of that cornmeal-like texture, so it's not ultra crunchy, but there's still a little bit of crisp to the exterior. It's been incredibly well seasoned though. A lot of flavor in that breading, though personally I wouldn't mind if it was just a little bit crunchier. Overall, I actually really like the breading. Now the beef inside has been tenderized, though I will say it's a bit on the tough side. It did require a fair amount of chewing to get through it all, but it did have a good beefy flavor. Overall, the chicken fried steak is pretty good. The country gravy here is actually very good. It's creamy, it's decadent, and has a very slight kick. And I'm not talking about any kind of real heat, but more of a spice that you might find in a breakfast sausage. It seems that breakfast sausage meat may have been rendered down into this. It's a well-seasoned gravy and it goes really well along with this chicken fried steak. I'm definitely happy with this one. It was my go-to for years, and I would probably still be able to enjoy this most of the time. Next up, some eggs. With my country fried steak, I went in on some scrambled eggs. I've got a nice big chunk on the fork. Let's give it a try. Yeah, that's fine. Not bad scrambled eggs here at all. I'm pretty sure these came from liquid eggs. These are far more dense than you might find in normal eggs, a little bit less fluffy than you would find in some scrambled eggs coming from real eggs. But I've had liquid gold scrambled eggs for my entire life, and these are still perfectly fine. A bit of a rich flavor to these. They've been cooked in a fair amount of butter, and in general, these are just fine. Personally, I love my scrambled eggs to be just a little bit more fluffy, but otherwise, these are perfectly acceptable. Next up, avocado toast. This is one of the 2 vegan breakfast options available here at the American restaurant at the New York, Las Vegas. And it looks pretty simple. Hopefully it tastes good. Let's see how it is. That was not good. Well, that's unfortunate. Kind of wish I liked this a lot more, but there's just not a lot going for this particular recipe. Starting with the bread, they're using some kind of a ciabatta loaf, and it tastes like it was store-bought, cut in half, and completely untransformed before it was brought to the plate. I don't even think this is toasted. It's quite chewy, and has a slightly tangy flavor to it. It's not a bad ciabatta bread, but I just wish that it was toasted, buttered, or something. Now, the smashed avocado spread here is pretty disappointing. While it is creamy and it's got some richness, it's quite bland. It's wholly untransformed. It has zero seasoning in it, and so the majority of your chewing, you're only really tasting the ciabatta, really not too much of that avocado. The sun-dried tomatoes do provide some nice accent flavors, and a slightly earthy flavor coming from those sprouts. But this is avocado toast, so to not taste the avocado, this is quite disappointing. If you're a vegan coming to the American restaurant for breakfast, you might want to think about the vegetarian burrito. I'm not entirely sure if this is the right recipe for you. All right, everyone, now that's all of the breakfast items I'm trying today. I'm going to take a few more bites and boxes all up to go, and then we'll do some entrees next. Don't worry, I'll be right back. And welcome back, my friends. Now, my first round of entrees just got here. This is gonna be pretty tasty. Let me give you a few. I got their pepperoni pizza as well as their fish and chips, their balsamic chicken, fettuccine alfredo with shrimp, as well as their vegan pasta pomodoro. Some tasty looking options here. Let's give them a try. I'm gonna kick off this round with the balsamic chicken. A grilled chicken dish. We've got a nice little piece on the fork here. Let's see how this is. Yeah, not bad. This is a pretty decent grilled chicken dish. Starting with the cook on the chicken itself, while it's a tad on the dry side, it's actually not all that bad. Still a little bit juicy, still a little bit tender, an overall decent cook to the chicken. I do like the smoky flavor coming off those grill marks, but outside of that, I would say the chicken is a tad on the underseasoned side. The majority of the taste and flavor is coming from that balsamic drizzle. It's sharp, it's pungent, a fair amount of tang to it as well. It does work well with the chicken. Certainly not a bad dish. If I had that chicken been a little bit more tender, a little bit more juicy, and just a little bit better seasoned, I would have liked this a lot more. Next up, we'll go in on the sides that came with this balsamic chicken, starting with the mashed potatoes. Pretty good looking mashed potatoes. I've got a little bit on the fork. Here are the mashed potatoes. Oh yeah, that's good. Actually very solid mashed potatoes here at the America restaurant. I gotta say, I love the texture. It's super creamy, velvety soft. This is the kind of velvety consistency that you would expect from a top tier steakhouse. I love this airy texture of the mashed potatoes. It's working really well for me. A nice starchy flavor to it. It's been well seasoned. Also very buttery and rich. I like these mashed potatoes a lot. Some tasty mashed potatoes as a side today. Now the other side to come along with this balsamic chicken is actually a spinach medley. A nice aroma to the spinach medley. Let's see how it tastes. Oh yeah, that's good. Excellent spinach side. All of this is cooked marvelously. The spinach has been beautifully sauteed. It's nicely wilted, super soft and tender. Cooked with a fair amount of garlic. I love the pungent flavor. A bit of a sweet caramelized heat coming off of those bell peppers. And in general, a well-seasoned vegetable dish. This is coming together well. That's a tasty vegetable side right there. Next up, the fish and chips. I'm not sure if my camera angle is doing this justice. These pieces of fried fish are so large that they're not even serving the tartar sauce in a little ramekin. They have to serve it in something like a soup cup. Got a nice dip. Let's see how it tastes. Oh, that is very good. Excellent fried fish at the America restaurant. I am wholly enjoying this. A wonderful fry to the exterior, an immaculate crunch biting into this. It's also been well seasoned and not too oily on my fingers either. Loving the breading when it comes to this fish. They're using a codfish here and it's very good. Mild in flavor, still well seasoned. A bit of a flaky quality to it. This is a very satisfying piece of fried fish. The tartar sauce is creamy, tangy, a little bit sweet, providing some nice accent flavors for this fish. I'm very impressed. Very nice fish here at the America restaurant. Next up, the chips. Some really good looking French fries at the America restaurant. Let's see how these are. Oh yeah, that's good. Oh yeah, some good tasting French fries here. A nice crispy exterior. Just like the fish, I love the fry job on these. It's a rustic preparation. They have skin on potatoes here, but they've been perfectly cooked through a nice tender potato center. Although maybe a little bit more dense than I would prefer. I wouldn't mind a little bit more of a pillowy center. But that said, I love the crunch of these French fries. They've been expertly seasoned. They actually taste really good. Not only do they have a good blend of salt and pepper, there's also a bit of a smoky flavor to this. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a little bit of paprika in the mix. Some enjoyable French fries for the fish. I'm really happy with those. Those are some solid French fries. Next up, pepperoni pizza. This is very reminiscent of me going to school back in my elementary days, seeing this square style pizza. And I mean, a pepperoni pizza, this is pretty classic, right? Let's see how it is. I'd say this is just okay. Pretty straightforward pizza, but there's definitely some elements that I would love to be improved. We'll start the discussion with the crust. The pizza dough has been relatively well developed. There is a bit of a yeasty flavor to it, a good chew to the center, and a slight crisp to the exterior. I wouldn't mind if the flavor of the crust was pushed just a little bit further, but overall that's probably one of the better elements of the pizza. I want to talk about my biggest dislike, which is probably the sauce. Not only is it far sweeter than I would prefer, but it also has a very strong metallic tinge to it. It very much tastes like the tomato sauce that you might find from a can of Chef Boyardee SpaghettiOs or something similar. There's a bit of that metallic flavor that comes through when it comes to canned tomatoes, and it's very prevalent here. The cheese isn't bad, it's melty, mild in flavor, and the pepperonis are doing okay. A little bit salty, ever so slightly spicy. Personally, I wish these were a little bit crispier. They are on the softer side, but I don't mind that all that much. It's really the pizza sauce that's the biggest attractor for me here. But maybe some younger or pickier eaters are going to enjoy this particular flavor. Next up, the fettuccine alfredo with shrimp. Now, it usually comes straight up and you have the option of chicken or shrimp. I went with shrimp today, and I'm hoping this is good. Let's see how it is. Oh yeah, not bad. This is a decent pasta dish, but there's a handful of issues keeping it from being great. I will start with the highlight though, which is the shrimp. Nice plump jumbo shrimp. They've been cooked wonderfully. It's not too chewy, a nice succulent texture to it, and you can still get that sweet briny flavor. I like the shrimp a lot in this dish. The fettuccine here is obviously boxed pasta, not made fresh, and it's certainly far past al dente, but still some chew to this. It's not mushy at all. While I personally wouldn't mind a bit more of a firm noodle, this is certainly passable. I would say the sauce is probably the biggest detractor. It's creamy, but it's ever so slightly under-seasoned. I wouldn't say it's bland, there's still a bit of a rich, cheesy flavor to it, but just another pinch of salt and a heavy dash of black pepper would go a long way with this dish. Certainly something you can add at your own table though, but I've definitely had a lot better fettuccine alfredos in my day. Alright everyone, now the last bite that I'm trying from this first round of entrees is going to be their pasta pomodoro. This is a vegan option available for you here at the America restaurant. We've got a nice big fork full of this pasta. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, this is a decent pasta dish. Starting with the noodles, I believe these are the same fettuccine noodles we saw earlier with the Alfredo. So as mentioned before, it's not fresh pasta, it does come from a box. Although I will say these are actually a little bit more firm than I got with the Alfredo noodles, so that I'm enjoying. I would say the tomato pomodoro sauce is actually pretty tasty. After having had the pizza earlier, I was really afraid of what this particular dish might taste like, but I'm happy to report that a lot of my qualms with the pizza sauce are not present in this particular pomodoro tomato sauce. They've neutralized that metallic flavor perfectly, and they've cooked out a little bit of the sweetness, so this is much more of a savory sauce. A slight kick to it as well, a little bit of a peppery heat, and in general, a well-seasoned sauce also. Some nice big chunks of tomato do provide some additional sweetness as you bite into them, and some peppers and onions provide a caramelized sweet heat. All in all, this is actually not bad. It's not all too complex, not a lot of depth, but this is a pretty straightforward and tasty vegetarian dish. Alright everyone, now that's all of the dishes I'm trying from this first round of entrees. Just a few more bites, I'm gonna box this all up to go, and then we'll do our second round. Don't worry, I'll be right back. And welcome back everyone. Now it's time for my second round of entrees. With my second round, I went in on both the ribeye special as well as a lot of handhelds. So let me give you a view. I got America's nachos along with a chicken sandwich and a bacon cheeseburger, their adult grilled cheese, and their ribeye special. I'm looking forward to trying all this. Let's go in. I'm gonna kick off this round with America's nachos. Your order comes with a nice big plate of chicken nachos. I've got a good assortment of the toppings on the chip. Let's see how it is. Oh yeah, it's tasty. Solid nachos here at the America restaurant. I'll start the discussion with the chips. They're definitely store-bought, but they're not stale. Certainly has a nice crunch to all of them. And you can still get subtle corn flavors from those chips. They're doing their job just fine. Now they have a melted layer of shredded cheese, and that does provide a nice richness. But there's also something like a chipotle mayonnaise sauce that's delivering a nice smoky heat, along with some additional creaminess. The sour cream has a nice tangy cooling, and the guacamole here is much more satisfying than I had earlier with the avocado toast. It's actually well seasoned, there's some onions in there providing bite. This is what I wanted on the avocado toast earlier. Some grilled chicken does provide a meaty quality. Unfortunately, I can't say I tasted too much of the bite, but there is a nice brininess coming from the olives, and a bit of a pickled heat coming from those jalapenos. In general, I'm actually enjoying these nachos quite a bit. That's a good nacho dish right there. Next up, the ribeye dinner. Probably one of the more better known options available here at the America restaurant is the ribeye dinner, available from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. And I did ask for my steak cooked medium. This is looking a lot closer to medium well or well done. but hopefully it still tastes good. Let's see how it is. I'd say these are just okay. It's very likely because of the cook on the steak, but unfortunately, I am not enjoying this relatively tough texture, and it's not super dry, but it's definitely not moist. Now, off camera, if this was my actual meal, I would probably be sending this back, but for reviewing purposes, I'm able to give you my thoughts on what came out of the kitchen. It's definitely overcooked. Again, I asked for this medium, no pink in sight anywhere. Unfortunately, it really did make for a bit of a tough chew, and that was not all that satisfying. It doesn't taste bad though. It was relatively well seasoned, certainly not a bland steak, and given that it is a ribeye, there is still a bit of a richness here. Some fat has rendered itself into the steak, making it quite nice, but unfortunately, given the texture, I'm really not able to enjoy this all that much. It's definitely unfortunate. You might want to ask for a bit more of a rare preparation just in the event that they cook things over here. Next up, the sides that came along with my ribeye steak, starting with the baked potato. Pretty straightforward side when it comes to a steak dinner. I've got some sour cream as well as butter applied. Baked potato time. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, this is a perfectly acceptable baked potato. All things considered, you can't do that much wrong with it. That said, I want to say this is ever so slightly under, just a little bit harder than I would prefer. My preference would definitely be a slightly softer and much more tender potato. That said, you do get a nice starchy flavor here, and a good richness coming from the butter, as well as a nice cooling tanginess from that sour cream. That all works fine. I think this potato is probably just a handful of minutes away from being perfect, but even without being perfect, this is still a pretty solid baked potato. Next up, this is the other side that came along with my ribeye. These are some green beans. Got some on the fork here. Let's give them a shot. Yeah, that's good. Perfectly fine vegetable side. I like this just fine. The green beans have been perfectly cooked. While they're fork tender, they still have a little bit of chew to the outside, and their natural bitter flavors are still coming through. The zucchini likewise is also well cooked. Fork tender as well, although I would say the flavors here are a little bit more muted. The majority of the taste is definitely coming from the green beans. Ever so lightly seasoned, very straightforward, a relatively clean and simple tasting recipe. And when it comes to side vegetables for my steak, I can enjoy these just fine. Next up, the fried chicken sandwich. A pretty simple but good looking chicken sandwich here. Let's give it a bite. Oh yeah, that is tasty. A good tasting chicken sandwich here at the America restaurant. Starting with the bun, I believe this is the same bun that we had earlier with the breakfast sandwich. However, it's much more toasted than its breakfast counterpart, giving it some additional structure, although flavor profile-wise, I would still say it's pretty neutral. America restaurant certainly has some decent produce. The butter lettuce is fresh, good bite coming from that raw onion. I will say that tomatoes have been a tad mealy tonight, but there's still a good natural sweetness coming from those, and a very welcome sour tang coming from the pickles. The fried chicken here is obviously the star, and it's the reason why the sandwich is so good. Perfectly fried exterior, the crisp was so satisfying to bite into. A really fun crunch to that sandwich. I'm liking the cook on that a lot. Not only does it have a wonderful texture, but it's also incredibly well seasoned. The batter has a really great flavor profile. This is not a bland sandwich in any way, shape, or form. The chicken inside is tender, although I would say it's a tad on the dry side. Personally, I would like a little bit more of a juicy chicken, but that said, it does taste very good. No element here is bland. Now, personally, I wouldn't mind some kind of a sauce in this. Maybe something like a peppery mayonnaise would provide some additional moisture as well as a kick, but that might be a personal preference for me. Overall, I do think the sandwich tastes pretty solid. I'm impressed with the fried chicken. That's a good one. Now, the chicken sandwich does come with some French fries. However, I already tried the fries earlier with fish and chips, so I'm going to move on to our next handheld option, which is going to be the adult grilled cheese. They called it an adult grilled cheese, but at first glance, it looks like what's really different here is that there's bacon. I'm not going to complain about that, though. Let's see how it is. Yeah, not bad. This is a decent sandwich, but I would say overall it's actually a bit underwhelming. You're thinking an adult grilled cheese would have a few more elements than just adding bacon, but that's effectively all we're really seeing here. The bread is nicely toasted, probably the most toasty bread I've seen tonight. A nice little crunch to the exterior, but still retaining a bit of a soft, chewy bread center. That's fine. They're using an American cheese along with what I believe was their shredded cheese blend, the same that I saw on the nachos. And it is melty, it's rich, mild in flavor. It's pretty straightforward when it comes to a grilled cheese taste. I did like the bacon earlier in the breakfast sandwich, and I like it just fine here as well. A nice smoky, salty flavor is providing some nice accents here. But I think in general, this just feels very unimaginative. When I'm thinking about an adult grilled cheese, typically I'm thinking about a little bit more of a diverse and varied cheese blend. This particular adult grilled cheese recipe just feels a bit pedestrian. This just feels like something that would be way too easy to make at home, so I'm not sure if I'd be satisfied ordering this at a restaurant. But if bacon and cheese between two pieces of bread sounds good to you, this is right up your alley. All right, everyone, now the last bite that I'm trying for my entrees tonight is gonna be their bacon cheeseburger. Pretty classic looking bacon cheeseburger to me. All of it looks assembled well. Let's give it a bite. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now, this is a pretty classic burger here at the America restaurant. All of it does come together pretty well. The same bun on the breakfast sandwich as well as the chicken sandwich earlier. Although, just like the chicken sandwich, this was much better toasted than the breakfast version. Still a bit of a neutral flavor to it. It's holding the weight of the burger together perfectly, so that's all fine. I asked for my burger cooked medium, and it looks like they hit temperature here. A nice hot pink center, and not a dry burger patty. It's still relatively moist and juicy. And a decent crust has been formed on the outside, although I do think the burger patty itself might be a tad under-seasoned. Not too noticeable though, because the bacon does provide a nice smoky salinity here, and some good salty flavors coming from that cheese. The produce here is working nicely against some very fresh butter or lettuce. The tomato here seems a little bit more fresh than I had before. A good sour tang coming from the pickles and some bite from raw onion, but what's also really nice here is that they have some caramelized onions providing a bit of a nutty sweetness. A similar complaint with this chicken sandwich is that there's no burger sauce here, and so the bite does tend to lean a bit on the dry side. While the burger patty is juicy, it's not enough to give me an overall satisfying mouthfeel. Even a little bit of mayonnaise or some ketchup would go a long way here. Not a bad bacon cheeseburger though. I would definitely be adding a sauce if it was my recipe, but overall this is still very passable. All right, my friends, now that's all of the entrees I'm trying here tonight. I'm gonna take a few more bites. I'm gonna box this all up to go, and then we'll do just a little bit of dessert next. Don't go anywhere because sweets are coming up. And welcome back, my friends. Now all of my food is packed up and good to go, so it's time for some sweets. Let me remind you what they have for dessert here. 3 options at the America restaurant between the hot fudge brownie sundae, a big apple pie, as well as a New York style cheesecake. And I think I'm in the mood for a cheesecake tonight, so I'm gonna get my order in, and for all of you at home, I'm gonna make that appear right now. And here it is, everyone. My cheesecake has arrived. I opted to not go in on the strawberry or blueberry topping. I just wanted it straight up. And you can see I've got a nice spoonful here. And I must admit, I am super full, but there's always just a little bit of room for some dessert, right? Let's activate the dessert stomach, give this a try. Oh yeah, that's good. Very tasty cheesecake. I'm basically liking everything about it. Starting with the graham cracker crust, it's incredibly rich. You can tell there's a lot of butter in it, but a nice nutty flavor to it. It's perfectly sweet. Its flavors are also very differentiated from the rest of the cheesecake layer, making itself distinct and known. A perfectly fine cheesecake crust. Now the cheesecake pie layer is also very good. The cream cheese has a lot of air whipped into it. It has a very nice consistency and texture. Slightly crumbly, but still very soft. It has a very nice sweetness to it, with a bit of tang. A very classic tasting cheesecake here. I like the consistency, I like the flavor. This all comes together well. A nice way to end out my meal tonight. All right, everyone, now that's gonna do it for my video here at the America restaurant at New York, Las Vegas. Now, all of the food you saw in the video tonight came out to just under $300 before tip. However, I did learn something very useful for any of my Las Vegas locals, and that's if you're able to present your Nevada ID, you do get 10% off here. So I was able to knock $27 off the bill, resulting in my total being $267. And I must say, all things considered, I enjoyed my time here. I was pleasantly surprised by the corned beef hash. Because I had preconceived notions of what was going to come out, that was really a nice surprise. Now, from the first round of entrees, the fish and chips were my favorite dish. In fact, I would say the fish and chips was easily my favorite dish of the entire night. If I came here not expecting to get breakfast, I would probably be going in on this fish and chips. I did think the fried chicken sandwich was quite good also, although personally I would love for it to come with a bit of a sauce. Portions here at the America restaurant are sizable, and prices seem to land somewhere in that $15 to $25 range. And given that they're open 24 hours a day, this is a very convenient place to eat. So if you're staying at the New York, or you've been interested in the America restaurant, I hope this video has been informative for you. All right, everyone, now that's going to do it for this week's video, where I continue my quest to vlog every restaurant on the Las Vegas Strip as well as downtown on Fremont Street. Make sure you return next Saturday. I would love to have you as I continue to add to my collection. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a fantastic week, and I hope you enjoy Vegas with me, Shin. Bye-bye.